Hi, it's Alexis. My job is to help you get back with your ex, and in today's video, I'm going to answer the question whether time will make your ex miss you or whether time will make your ex forget you. And it is very important for you to understand this concept because it is very much counterintuitive. Your heart is saying something, your brain another one. I'm going to give you what's my view as an expert on those type of situation. You'll see it might change the whole picture for you. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Well, the first thing you need to understand is that time makes them realize. Of course, the last thing we want after a breakup is to not being with them, disconnect with our ex. We want to continue that bond. And the assumption that we make, the assumption that you probably make, is that if I stop talking to my ex, that means it's gonna stop everything. It's gonna stop whatever we created together, the whole years of us being together as a couple. This is a wrong assumption. And of course, I'm saying no contact is very powerful. I'm pretty sure you've seen other videos than the ones on my channel because this stuff works, okay? It works. And of course, your heart's saying like, I need to speak with him. I need to talk with him or her. I need to reconnect. I really need to be back to where we were. I need to convince my ex that actually he or she made a wrong decision. But in reality, this would prevent you from getting back with your ex. What you have to do right now is to raise your level of attraction. This is the only thing you have to do. Don't think about convincing the other. Don't think about letting and begging your ex, apologizing. No. What you have to do is to raise your level of attraction. And remember, if you're needy, you're not sexy, okay? So what you have to do, and we'll explain that in the few slides after, is to really use the time at your advantage. So when you stop reaching out and giving them your attention, your ex will experience loneliness. This is what we want right now. We want them to really experience the loneliness, to really understand the weight of the decision and of the breakup. Most of the time, if you do that, and a lot of people, they're really struggling to do that properly, most of the time your ex will contact you because they care for you. It's not because they broke up with you that they don't have any more feelings for you. I think there's been studies about that. About 70% of people who decide to end a relationship still have strong feelings with the ex. So if they don't contact you, it's just because they want that space. And very often when someone announces to their ex, we need to talk, they talk about space. I need some space. I need to reflect. I need to be on my own. Okay? It doesn't necessarily mean the door is completely closed. So you have to accept that and you have to use time for them to reflect. And I'm saying like, let's have a chat because a lot of my clients are reaching out because they went through no contact with a bit of success. I mean, sometimes they failed to be like 30 days with no contact, but they went through no contact and their ex is reaching out, after a week, after 2 weeks, after a month, after 2 months. And now they're like, Alexis, what should I do? How can I approach this situation? So if you are in that situation or if you're struggling to apply no contact, why don't you give me a call? I have free discovery calls in my diary. It's totally free, 15 minutes, where we can have a discussion and discuss how you could get unstuck with your current situation. The second thing is the power of time. And I'm going to quote a scientific studies about this subject. You need to allow time for the breakup to sink in. Again, it's very important for your ex to experience that stuff. And it's not just 1 or 2 days that they really experience. I also mentioned that in other videos that after a breakup, the dumpers will have that release phase. There was so much tension, leading to the decision and the announcement of the breakup that when they're on their own for a few days, a week, 2 weeks max, they feel like all that pressure release, they'll enjoy that time. And this is why you have to let at least a week or two of no contact for that person to enjoy the time, and then to reflect on actually, and we're gonna look at that afterwards, actually what they are losing, what they are missing. And of course, the way they made the decision is that the negative things overweight the positive stuff. But it's been scientifically proven that the unpleasant memories is, so pan-cultural is any type of countries, any types of culture. It helps individuals to process negativity and adapt to changes in their environment whilst retaining positive memories. So in a nutshell, your ex with time will stop to have in front of their head all the negative things about you, all the fights that you had, all the disagreements that you had together, and will start to only remember the happy memories, the good times together, the sex together, the moment you had, the holidays, the mornings, your rituals, all this kind of stuff. It will sort of reprioritize those stuff because our brain hates bad memories. That's how we evolve, that's how we go through life. The only exception is people who are severely depressed, and they are severely depressed because also they are actually only remembering bad memories, but that's very specific. So being on their own, they'll start to realize what you brought them. They'll start to realize what is life without you beside them. Let them assess why they broke up, because they might have this intuition, and this is what we can work on when we're on coaching with a client, is that very often you realize that their ex made a decision based on intuition, based on, I don't feel it's gonna work. And by not having you around and not having that tension of being with you, they realize actually maybe I was really upset about this, and this, but I failed to acknowledge that from that relationship I got this, and this. And very quickly, a few days and few weeks, they'll start to rebalance their perception of the reality. Now, the question is what you do during that time, and we're gonna discuss this after. You're gonna use that time to remember yourself, regain confidence. I know after a breakup we feel like shit, we feel our self-esteem is below 20. It's also the opportunity to re-establish your identity outside of your partner, find new hobbies, meet new people. There's a lot of discussion about whether dependency is a myth or not. Try to live without someone. You can be happy without someone. And the idea is to really focus on yourself. Treat yourself. Go and get you a massage or mani-pedi or whatever. Go and do some kite surfing or do something new. Go out. Enjoy your time as a single person. And I know when we are in a relationship, it takes a lot of our time. Now that you have that time for you, what can you learn? What can you do to feel better and really rebalance those emotions? The reason also time is important is provides a wake-up call for your ex. They made that decision potentially based on wrong data, potentially based on intuition. Seeing that you're actually not around can provide a wake-up call, and that's why most of the time your ex will reach out. The third thing you need to do and remember is you have to respect the decision. It has many benefits. The first one is, I often say to my clients, you have to be the good guy or you have to be the good girl. What I mean by that, if you are convinced, not only convinced, but if you know that what you're doing is the right things, i.e. you're respectful, you're caring, you're listening, you're working on yourself, you're trying to be a good person, therefore it's not so much your fault. Therefore you know your worth. So try to be someone who loves, who cares for them, who respects their decision. But when it comes to them changing their mind, would they be more inclined to say, okay, I give you a second chance to someone who's been pleading, begging, texting, harassing, spamming, stalking, or someone who's just, walking his own path, working on himself, trying to be better, respecting their decision, being a listener, being there for them if they want to, being an adult. It's really what you have to picture. And I know it's really the conflict between your heart and your head. Your heart wants to beg, your heart wants to convince them, your heart wants to be close to them. But your head, i.e. what I'm just saying right now, is that you have to do other things. You have to focus on yourself. You have to build yourself. And first thing I said in the video is you have to raise your level of attraction. And I'm not talking about the law of attraction, I'm talking about the attraction, how do you attract someone, okay? You have to be the honey. You have to be the honey to attract your ex. And again, really important to build this image of a good, receptive partner. Again, partner A, someone super needy, someone who's very sort of, in a way, badly proactive, really not understanding their needs, or someone who understands, or someone who's listening, someone who is there for them, someone who creates that safe space, because it's also about safety. When someone breaks up with their partner and they are about to change their mind, they're really assessing whether their ex has actually changed. So all the things that they felt was wrong, they worked on it, and also if they're not going to get hurt. Is it a safe relationship that we can nurture together? Fourth one, time is in your favor. Time to regain a sense of respect, a sense of love, to appreciate insight, to appreciate life just being on your own, to be balanced as well is so important. When we are in a relationship and then half of us goes away, we feel unbalanced, we feel like, wow, there's something missing, for instance, my day-to-day stuff is completely changed. I have maybe 30 hours of my time that I have to fill in with something. So time will help you find ways to rebalance this. Heal from your wounds. I did a video about my fingers that I cut. The only way you can heal is actually to do the right strap and to wait for your wound to heal. And also very important, and very, again, this is not what the heart wants, but that's what the head needs to do, and that's what you have to do, is to let go. The more attention you put at trying to convince your ex, the more anxiety you create within yourself. The more anxious you are, the less attractive you become. Okay, it's very much mathematical equation now. By letting go, by saying, okay, I acknowledge that we need to close this chapter, and now I have to let go of trying hard to get back with my ex by convincing them. I'm now opening a new chapter of my life, working on myself, trying to become the best version of myself, trying to look at my shortcomings with honesty, try to really create a safe environment for my future relationships. If you do that, you can do it on your own, you can do it with a coach, you can do it with a therapist. But if you do that, you maximize your chance to get back with your ex. And honestly, people who do that get back with their ex. Now, the assumption is, of course, you were in love with your ex and your ex was in love with you, and your relationship was longer than 6 months. And actually, if you're not sure whether all of what I mentioned applies, I put together a quiz for you to know if you have any chance to get back with your ex. The link is in the first comment of the video. It's totally free. It takes 2 minutes. You click and you have a result right away, whether you have any chance to get back with your ex. It also talks about no contact in it. You get a result right away. You need to have a score above 15. If you have less than 15, it might be time rethinking about getting back with your ex and move on for real and try other alternatives. This is it. If you like the video, don't forget to click on the like button. It does help a lot. You can also subscribe to receive any notification when I post a video, and also comment if you feel whatever I said doesn't make sense, or if you want to just testify about the power of time. And if you have other questions about the topic, I read all the comments and I reply to the ones that are relevant. Take care. Bye-bye.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.